Established in 1853, the Calcutta Parsi Amateur Dramatic Club, or the CPADC as the Bowers call it, has enthralled audience for over a century with their captivating plays. Since its establishment, there has not been a single year without a show. From the old to the young, the conservative to the progressive, every Parsi awaits for the once a year performance on Navroz. Over the years, the CPADC has staged numerous plays, ranging from classic Parsi dramas to adaptations of English plays translated into Gujarati or Urdu. These productions often incorporate music, dance, and elaborate costumes following the rich traditions of Parsi.
ते आपले बिळवो गाडी લઈને ફરવા જશું.
મને કઈ શીખાડવા આપવાની જરૂર નથી હા તું સાફ સાફ.
The Calcutta Parsi Amateur Dramatic Club was founded in the early part of the 20th century, so the early 1900s. And like a lot of our other Parsi institutions in Calcutta, it was founded in that golden period, let's say in the first 30 to 40 years of the 20th century, when I think our population started expanding. More and more Parsis came to Calcutta for work opportunities, which is quite the opposite of what it is today. And I think when they all came here, they wanted to get together, they wanted to do stuff outside of work, so they found reasons to start these different institutions like the Parsi Club or the Dramatic Club or the Scouts movement. There was a ladies organization found, a youth organization found. So plenty of institutions were set up in the first 30 or so years or 40 years of the 20th century. Now, the CPADC, I guess, was started by a group of acting enthusiasts, and like everything in those days, it was sort of meant for and controlled by and entirely run by men. Play casts from photographs I've seen and from articles I've read had sometimes as many as 50 or 60 characters, all played by men. Even the female roles were played by men. I think sometime in the 1950s, if I'm not wrong, they admitted their first lady member, and then obviously ladies started acting, and after that we've had quite a few lady directors, lady presidents, etc. But it wasn't, I think, till about 1950 when women were inducted as members for the first time.
CPDC is always looking for fresh talent and youngsters. I came from Bharuch in Gujarat. When I finished my SSC, I came over here because my father was in the company called Jamel. He was flying. So we all shifted from Jamnagar. We were based in Jamnagar, but I was studying in Bharuch. Then Natak was, every year we used to do Natak in that Star Theatre, far off, 3 o'clock in the afternoon. We used to get, in those days when we used to go, some drink, chocolate, everything. Anyway, so I used to go there with my parents and my brothers, sisters. So I used to see them acting. So I said, I also like to act. So I approached someone, I'm interested in acting. So they said, yes, we are looking for new faces. So do come. So I was called for the interview. I was made to read a script. So my Gujarati is very fluent because I did SSC in Gujarati. The current lot in Calcutta Parsi don't know Gujarati at all. Current lot writes in either English or Hindi, then they mug it up and then they speak Gujarati. But in those, I'm talking about 1958, I knew Gujarati, so I read Fatafat Gujarati script and they were very impressed with me. So they gave me straight away the part.
So ever since the Dramatic Club was founded, I think in 1907, if I'm not wrong, it has put up some kind of dramatic entertainment for the Calcutta Parsi community every single year on our New Year's Day, or what we observe as New Year's Day, which is Navroz in August or September. It probably was in September in those days, now it's in the middle of August. So to do this free of cost, to raise the funds to do it, and then to actually deliver it year on year for, over 110 years now, is I think quite a phenomenal achievement. So if I talk about the early days, or maybe the first 50 or 60 years, like I said, mostly male dominated, large casts, multiple shows. We used to fill up, I believe, Kala Mandir for 2 shows. I mean, today we don't fill up, and Kala Mandir seats 1,000 people. Today we don't fill up Gyan Manch, which has, I think, 350 or 370 seats. So that just shows how our population has also evolved and then declined over the last several years. And that possibly was one of the golden periods of the CPADC, where, like I said, huge casts, big dramatic plays, tragedies and mysteries and all of that. Massive audiences, people would line up from 6 in the morning, I believe, to get a proper seat. These tickets were in demand. You don't want to be sitting somewhere in row Z in one corner. Then I think as the population started declining in the 60s or 70s, probably the 70s, I think we still had enough to fill up a large auditorium. We still had adequate acting talent and adequate acting interest. So even up to my initial years, I think I did my first play in 1995. And even in those first year or two, there were auditions held for certain roles. So let's say multiple people wanted to do a particular role, and the director would call both of them and see how they acted and then choose one. We're crying out for days like that today, where we barely find people to fill up a cast of 7 or 8 people. I think up to the mid 90s, we had adequate acting talent and interest, and we still had large enough crowds. We would fill up a crowd of say 600 or 700 people.
That's what our entertainment was, going for natak rehearsal. We used to enjoy. So that's how slowly new lot of people came, new lot of youngsters came. And then after 20 years, I also became old. So after acting for 20-25 years, lead roles, and I was good in acting, even if I say so. I got a standing ovation twice in the natak also. Then even new lot of came, so I became a prompter. Once I became a director, then after 1 year, director is too much jamela. Lot of sections you have to look after, and we used to look forward to going for rehearsal. Nowadays, nobody looks forward to coming for rehearsal. We have to do, bhai bapa, please come for rehearsal, please come for rehearsal. Then they come. So because now there are a lot of entertainments are there, these youngsters. So anyway, we are trying our level. See, nowadays a job also, now people are working pretty late. Some of them have to go very far. So we don't know how long we'll continue. We are trying our best to let it continue. Then the current lot doesn't know Gujarati, so I'm a little strict with them. So tata papa, they do it. So I correct their Gujarati when they speak. Also I make them write, because they can't read Gujarati. So I sit with the script, they sit with a book, and they write in English, their lines.
I think language is a factor. I think we'll manage Gujarati. A lot of people in the last 10 to 20 years have said, Gujarati script is a problem. I don't think that's the problem. I think people find it quite different and cool to be able to come and act in Gujarati, and maybe even to show their friends that, see, I know a language that you don't. I can stand on stage and speak in Gujarati and you can't. So I think that Gujarati factor is not going to discourage people. I think it's just the fact that there won't be people, and the fact that people will not be able to commit their time for a 2-month period to come and rehearse every day. I think these are the two factors that are really going to give us problems in 5 to 10 years' time. I think the current group will keep it going for at least 5 years. The next 5 years might be a bit more of a struggle, and after that, like I said, who knows. I do hope that, as I hope for our other organizations, other institutions, that we fade away gracefully and don't fade away with bitterness and acrimony. And I think the Dramatic Club certainly should not. It has had a wonderful run of, like I said, about 115 years or more of non-stop play, of non-stop theatre. The process of putting a play together is one of great joy and fun, and there's plenty of laughter and enjoyment as we go through rehearsals. To get the appreciation of our crowd on Navroz Day, and now we only perform comedies, so to get people to come out on Navroz Day and just have a good laugh and watch us do silly things on stage, watch people with absolutely no dancing talent like me dance on stage and almost make fools of ourselves. I think it's great to give everyone that laugh. I think no amount of laughter is enough, so it's a privilege to be able to actually stand on stage at the end and watch everyone with broad smiles on their faces, clapping, and really happy to have spent the last, say, 90 minutes with us. I hope we can do that for as many more years as we can. And like I said, when the time comes that we can't, well, we can't. But I hope, like I said, we bow gracefully. Yeah. good luck to the CPADC. Like I said, I hope we keep things going for as long as we can and making people laugh for as long as we can.
खुशी खुशहाल